The program waiting for us, a program that's presented by the Joint Distribution Committee. In order to introduce the program properly, I'd like to call upon Allah.
Andrew.
You're Allah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I need your
Oh, you gotta take it. I don't need it. You please. You got it?
I got it. Okay. Very good. Well, my name is Andrew Kahn, and as mentioned, I work for the American Jewish Joint Distribution Committee, or the JDC, or the Joint, as we've been known as. So I wanted to, for all of you that aren't familiar with the organization, just give you a very brief, general background of who we are and what we've done, and then introduce our other speakers. So for the last 100 years, JDC has played a very instrumental role in developing and cultivating Jewish life around the world. Just for some perspective, after World War II, we were responsible for setting up the DP camps. Fast forward, 20, 30 years, we were responsible for supporting the Jews behind the Iron Curtain. Fast forward a couple more years, we were responsible for airlifting the Ethiopian and Yemenite Jews out of dangerous situations and into Israel and facilitating that. So we're essentially the 911 of the Jewish world, except for differently than the 911 is that once we're there, we stay there to ensure that Jews can live with dignity and with resources, to continue to grow strong communities, and especially in places where, Judaism lives in the margins of society. So a lot of you may be or may not be aware of the scope of the Jewish world outside of, the Northeast United States and Israel, and a lot of what you may think, is what you've seen and you've read about, especially in the former Soviet Union, is that, Jewish life lives in the margins and it's on the decline. But what I wanted to share with you, and what our speakers will tell you more about, is that there's actually very exciting, there's an exciting renaissance going on in these places. So first I'd like to call up Dima, who comes from Belzi, Moldova, and he'll tell you a little bit about who he is as a young Jew in Moldova and what the Jewish community looks like there now, and we'll take it from there. So thank you for having us, and here's Dima. Here, I got you. There you are.
Thank you. As mentioned, I'm Dima. I'm from Moldova, Belzi. Belzi is a small city, as Moldova is a small country. I would like to tell you a little bit about my Jewish story, the way I was introduced to Jewish community in Belzi. My Jewish story begins in my early childhood. At that time, I was brought for the first time to the first ever organized Jewish family camp in Moldova. It was organized with help of GDC, Greensburg Jewish Community, and Belzi Jewish Community. I was brought there by my family. There, for the first time, I saw beautiful Jewish traditions. I met a rabbi who was singing and playing guitar. There, for the first time, I was singing Jewish songs and I really liked it. I was so excited about that camp that I asked my parents to go to the community again and again. And from that time on, I've been a very active participant of all the programs at our local Hesed, our local Jewish community. So once I was invited to perform at one of the Balsi ethnic festivals. It was my first performance. It was the first time when I could pay way for the community for everything that it has done for me. It was a very important moment for me, and it was really successful, and I was very happy. And after one of the camps, of our camps with Greensboro, it was the first camp when the camp was organized only for youth, without the entire families. Me and a small group of young people of my age, we decided not to lose connection and to be more involved into Jewish community activity. And we wanted to be a part of our community, to be an important part, to do something useful. And supported by our head of our Hesed in Balsi and GCC, we've launched the program of School of Young Leader. It was the very first program in our Balsi community for youth. We've been doing a lot of things from that time. We've been helping with organizing different events, celebrations, with organizing different holidays. We like this very much. We've been helping our elderly community members with cleaning up, with purchasing products, with using the computer. And from that time, we've also launched some programs for youth. It was Jewish guitar, Jewish hands. It was the program when the children were doing something cool out of unnecessary things. Dancing group and different programs, Israeli cinema. It was a very successful way of doing, we've after that time, we've played a very important role in our local Jewish community. Our youth club growed and growed and growed, and now there are like over 25 of young people aged from 16 to 18 who are actively participating in all of our programs and all of our events, and over 30 children younger than 16, teenagers younger than 16, who are also very often are coming to our programs and our events. With the help of American Jewry, the Jewish life was coming back to former Soviet Union, and it was a really great and important moment in developing of the community in Balsi, especially because Balsi, some hundred of years ago, Balsi was one of the biggest Jewish shtetls. There were like 70% of population was Jews, but now there is a much smaller percentage of Jews in our city. Our city is small. There are only 200,000 of people in it. And now it's a lower percentage of Jews there. There are like 2,000 of Jews. And we are really trying on involving more people, more unaffiliated people into our community, because as you understand, in the former Soviet Union there was a problem with nationality. Many Jews were not, they didn't want to tell that they are Jews, and now it's reflecting that they don't feel themselves Jews. So we are now trying to involve them, to make them feel themselves comfortable in the Jewish community and to come to us and to celebrate with us. Yes, and what I would like to say that is, thanks to Jewish distribution community, GDC, our youth club was able to continue its developing, its blossoming, and now we are really able to change things, to change the direction of developing of Jewish community in Balsi. And I would like to say once again a great thanks to GDC, and thanks to all of you for listening me. Thank you sorry for my bad English.
Very good.
Thanks. So thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I would, yes.
About anti-Semitism then?
Well, probably until 2000, it was really a great problem, because Jews were not really treated well in the former Soviet Union, but now there is no such a problem. There is only a problem that they, after a long time hiding that they were Jews, they just don't feel like a child. He's a Jew, but his parents were not taking him to the community. They said that he's Jew, it doesn't matter anything, and it is hard for us now only to show them that it's good that he is a Jew. It's really cool that you are a Jew. You have to use it to be a part of our community. So now there are no problems with such big problems that it was before with the anti-Semitism.
I'm sorry, I just want to add some words about anti-Semitism, because I'm from Ukraine. It's also former Soviet Union, so we're Russian speakers, and I think that now we also have some problem with anti-Semitism, because the people I know, I'm sorry, it's just a question. But you know what the people know about the Judaism, about Jews, and about our people? They don't know nothing about us. That's why we still have anti-Semitism, because they heard just like как это сказать, stereotype. They just know something about us. That's why they say that you are Jewish. It means that you are bad guy. But what does it mean to be Jewish? They still didn't know. So, because it's Soviet Union, we have not nationality like in our country. So sometimes I ask my teenagers, guys, do you feel that I'm Jewish? Yes, of course we feel. Yes, we are Jewish. Oh, it's so cool. But when they go to the street, they never say that. What does it mean, guys? That we still have this anti-Semitism there. It's not, we don't feel like we safely there, everything is okay, we have a nice building in the middle of the city, Jewish community. Everyone knows that it's GCC, Jewish Cultural Center. But we're still afraid, like, to say, I'm Jewish to our not Jewish friends. So it's my answer, sorry. Yeah, we have one synagogue. You know, when some hundred of years ago we had like 72 synagogues for our city. Can you imagine this? And now, after such a period, we have only one synagogue left. Only one. Yeah, there is a rabbi. He's from Belgium. Yeah.
You speak to the city of Kishinev in Bessarabia.
Yeah.
What's it like? How is there a Jewish community functioning there now?
In Kishinev?
Kishinev.
Oh, I can't judge because we're not really so connected, but there are a lot of Jews in Kishinev. There are like 15,000 of Jews.
My name is Alla. So in Kishinev, I'm from Ukraine, but I work with all of teenagers and youth club in the former Soviet Union. That's why I know some information about Belty, some information about Kishinev. They have really a huge Jewish community. It's more than 15,000 Jewish people in the Kishinev. They have a really huge and big GCC. Also, they have the Jewish synagogue, of course. They have not now Jewish school, but they have 2 synagogues in the Kishinev, and I think it's.
Okay.
Oh yes, enough. Oh my God. I don't like this. I don't like this. No, stay here. Будь здесь. So in the Kishinev, I feel that they have a really good Jewish life because they have like events for all city, and everybody knows that this Jewish community celebrated Pesach, or this community, they invited all of city for this event, like Israel Independent Day of Israel. So everyone knows, they just, so in Kishinev it's a different place from Kharkov, for example.
Where are you from?
Where I'm from, yes. Kharkov. Originally I'm from Poltava, but now last 5 years I live in Kharkov. So it's really different because Jewish life in Kishinev, it's still like Jewish life. It feels like Jewish life because nobody, like everyone to know that they Jewish. They still looking for new Jewish people who didn't know about that. But when in the Kishinev, I felt that I am Jewish, I'm free, like, to feel that.
What about Chernovtsi?
Chernovtsi, my lovely city. I love Chernovtsi. You're from Chernovtsi? Oh my God. They have still Jewish community, but it's small Jewish community. Yes. Yes.
Can we just take a quick pause from the questioning? Alla can tell you a little bit more about what she's doing, and then we can answer questions again all together. I just don't want you to miss her story.
I don't like this one. I'm sorry. Much better. So, my name is Alla Magas, and I want to tell you a short, my personal story about me. Because when I was 13 years old, I received the call from the change course of my life. Somebody from Jewish organization called to my house, invited me to Shabbat dinner. I didn't know what it means, really. What does it mean Shabbat? Why somebody called to my house to invite me to that?
How old were you? How old were you at the time?
I was 13 years old. Yes, it was 17 years ago. So now you know how old I am. And I asked my mother, why somebody from Jewish organization called to my house, invited me to that? And she broke the news that my father, who was no longer living with us, was a Jewish. It's your phone? No? Okay. So I went to my first Shabbat celebration, and I met a nice and interesting people. I eat really tasty and good food. And we had interesting intellectual discussion. And I heard the beautiful songs. I met a lot of younger people who I never met people like that. But what was important for me is that I felt that I'm at home. That was really important for me. So I started to go to my Jewish community, and I understand that I want to participate all the projects in this community. I want to go to Shabbat every Friday. I want to use and participate all the project. I want to be on all Jewish events. And I understood that I want to be a madricha. You know what does mean, madricha? Yeah. It's a Jewish leader. So I started to learn. I took the course of leadership program, not leadership, but it's madrich course. Like you learned how to participate, how to engage, how to build the process in a group, how you can work with them. So it was my first experience like madricha, and I started work in the summer camps, Jewish summer camps, when I was 14 years old. It was amazing for me. My project was Israel dance. I learned moves by watching video, and soon 25 children from 8 to 10 years old, they danced with me hor. It was my first success, like as a madricha. So I understand that I want more. I need to know more about Judaism, about my people. So when I graduated the school, I moved to Moscow in the Jewish university there. Yes, Machon. So I started to teach, to study. Thank you. To study something new, and I studied everything about Jewish. Like I took the educational program. I started to know something new about history and traditional, how to pray, and something about Talmud and Torah. It was amazing because I get this knowledge from this university, and I returned to my own city, Poltava. It's a small city, but it was I don't know, 50 years ago it was a really Jewish city, but now it's like with a building, maybe 2,000, maybe 3,000 Jewish in my city. And I started to work in the Jewish community, progressive community in Poltava as a Jewish educator. I work with all of ages, like from kids to older people, and it was so nice. And during that time, I received the chance to participate Young Leadership Project GDC, organized by GDC, Joint Distribution Community, Metsuda. I don't know, you know this name or not, but in the former Soviet Union, it's so stronger project for a youth young leader, but because we have not any options to study that now, because it's just only one project there. Metsuda. That's why it's important for me. And I participate, and this project taught me how to analyze the needs of the community, how to create the project for this community, how to be a meaningful member of the community. It was important for me because I grew up as a leader. So, and the big next step for me was I moved from small city Poltava to Kharkov. It's much bigger city with a big Jewish community. It's about 40,000 Jewish people in our city. 40,000. And I started work with the youth program as a leader of youth club in Kharkov. We organized all the Jewish events. We organized a volunteer action in our city. I work with the age from 18 till 28 years old. It was my Jewish youth club. And we connected with all of leader youth clubs in the former Soviet Union. We make this seminar for these guys, and we understand that we have a new generation in our community. This is teenagers from 13 till 17 years old. We saw these teenagers, but they was like a part of family. But in this age, they feel that they adult, but they still children, like. So I started to discuss with GDC about the new projects for this generation, because we need to build something like platform for next step of our Jewish community. So I started my new project, AJT, Active Jewish Teens, and now we have 40 we have 40 youth club of teenagers in all FSU. We started just 1 year ago, and now we have 14 teen clubs. It's amazing, in 5 countries: Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, Moldova, and Georgia. So 5 countries we have now, and also in Russia we have 2 regions, like the west eastern region and Ural. It's like near Siberia. Yeah. So we have 2 regions, and now we want to open one more teen club in Kazakhstan, and open soon in Crimea, because we have big problem with Crimea, because it's not Ukraine, but it's still like not Russian. So, and we have 3 communities there, in the Simferopol, Sevastopol, and Yevpatoria, and we have a huge Jewish community there, but they like not independent, but we don't understand what we can do with them in Crimea. So now, I don't know what to explain. I still continue to learn something new about Judaism. I work with my teenagers, and through GDC, I grow as a leader. Through GDC, I founded my Jewish roots. And through GDC, now I help to new generation to build their Jewish life in the former Soviet Union. So I really I want to say thanks for the call when it was 17 years ago. This Jewish organization who found my phone number and called to my house to say me that I'm Jewish. So that's it. That's my story.
Do you get materials for your workshops or your programs from Israel or from the United States? Where do you get materials to run your, information?
It's a really good question, because GDC helped me to participate 2 seminars, one in Israel, educational seminars, and one in New York 3 years ago, because I take all experience from you guys, from US, because you have a lot of experience and you have a lot of knowledge how to build the Jewish community, because it's natural for you. But for us, it's something new. So I took all the materials and experience from Israel and from US. So I saw a lot of, not a lot, but enough communities, and I work with the youth movement here and with Jewish community here. So it's still like exchange of experience I have, because a lot of friends here live now here.
I know this is very stupid. Could you just tell me geographically where?
Ukrainians here, Belarus is here, and Moldova is here.
Okay.
And Georgia is the Russia. So this is Georgia and this is Ukraine. Okay, so everything, it's like a big part of the world together. Everything, Russia and Belarus and Moldova and Ukraine. We was like one country many years ago, and now we are like independent countries. Belarusia, Moldova, and blah blah blah.
I'm sorry, sir. It's a too personal question, but
Yes.
is your mother Jewish?
No,
Know anything?
no, my father.
But your father doesn't live with you. You know him?
I know him, but he lives when I was 9 years old. I remember him. And I know that part of my family, they live in Israel, but I have never known them. But now I became to Judaism when I was 18 years old. I get the Giyur. How it say? Yes.
Where were you converted?
In Moscow.
In Moscow, by the rabbinate in Moscow?
Yes. Three rabbis. Three rabbis were there. Yes, it was like Reform convention, but I feel that it was important for me because I still like keep the kosher, I keep the holidays, so it's important part of my life. So it doesn't matter who made for me that.
How much do you interact with Israel, and do you encourage Aliyah to Israel for the youth? That's a good question.
It's can you help me?
Sure. So
Just with translation.
So what she's asking is, do you or do we as an organization encourage Aliyah? And we don't. So in times of crisis, or in history, and in scenarios like in the Ukraine or parts of the Soviet Union, if something were to happen, we have plans, and an action to make that possible. But really our mission is to give young leaders and re-emerging communities the tools to live where they are with dignity. And if they're in a crisis, there's an organization, Highest, that deals with that. But that's not the business that we're in.
It's not our mission.
And also, how interactive are you with rabbis to teach the fundamentals of religion?
Okay, it's good question. It's good question because you know that we have just in Russia we have just Chabad. And small part it's progressive community. In Ukraine we have Chabad and small part of progressive community, and one synagogue in Odessa, Litvaki, and one in Kiev, and one community, conservative community. That's it. That's all what we have. So it's too difficult because the Chabad rabbis, they don't want to work with us because not half, but some people not Jewish as halacha, and it's a big problem for them because they don't want to work with them. Like, no, you are not Jewish. And we work with the people who has just one person from family who is Jewish. Mother or father, it doesn't matter for us.
Grandfather too? Do you take it to another generation, like grandfather?
Grandfather, a grandmother, yes, but that's it. Grand, no. It's just like Israel.
You speak of building a Jewish community. Is there a religious factor involved too?
It's it's more, it's more cultural. Like they need to know everything. Like they need to know history. They need to know traditional. They need to know that they have options of a lot of ways to be a religion community there. So, but it's
we're a non-denominational organization in terms of the communities that we build. We're inclusive. We work with all the different communities within the communities, the concentric communities, the Orthodox community, and Reform and conservative, however that translates in those communities. We work with everybody.
In our AJT, Active Jewish Teens, our movement and our network work, we have people from Dnipropetrovsk who is from Orthodox community, and they participate in our seminars. We have some people from progressive community in our AJT program, and we have also and that's it, and just from GCC, like cultural centers.
Yeah, just two questions. One, do you do any Hebrew? Do you teach them Hebrew or do any work?
Yes, of course.
And the second one, you didn't mention Azerbaijan. There's nothing with
Azerbaijan. We have an Azerbaijan on the Baku. We have a small Jewish community. They have really nice people there. And we bring once a year, we bring people from this community to our seminars for all FSU. But we have not like a stronger and I don't actually know how many Jews live there. Maybe because it's a small part, that's why we just give them chance to be there, like a part of something big Jewish community. But we have not like plans to support them more. what we,
Is there any programs for teenagers to visit Israel, or there's nothing like that?
no, we have not money for these projects.
There are from the
No,
United
no.
States, but not from.
No.
The teenagers to go to the United States?
There are programs. JDC has a department called Entwine, which is for college and young professionals. And not only can they go and visit Israel, but they can visit Ethiopia, Jewish India, Jewish Morocco, in a very immersive, hands-on, and often service-oriented experiences. I know you had a question?
But it's interesting because I understand that my teenagers, they never see like Israel because they have a lot of friends from Israel. They know about Israel with Zionism. We have like these ideas, but you know, it's really interesting because we are looking for support to show to not all of us, all of teenagers, but maybe. Who is more active or who to make something for a community. Maybe we can find this way to.
I hesitate asking this question, but I feel I must. With the position of the JDC accepting a parent, either parent or grandparent being Jewish, what pitfalls or what barriers do you find in the acceptance of the people whose mothers are not Jewish?
So your question.
It's just our policy, and we do the best to be.
No, I'm not questioning how you're doing it, and I'm not judging how you're doing it, but there is, you know, an overriding halachic factor. And I'm wondering if that is maybe one of the reasons you're not pushing the members towards Israel because of their stance on defining Judaism.
No,
Israel defines it that way.
that's not the reason.
Israel doesn't define the mother? Yeah, that's how they let the Russians in.
Anna, you're not listening.
If I understand your question correctly, I mean, we brought the Ethiopian Jews to Israel,
Right.
which by, I guess, halakhic
Yes.
standards,
Yeah, there's a lot.
you know, they shouldn't be allowed there. But, I mean,
I just was wondering.
that's
if
debatable, but that has
that's
nothing to
the
do.
barrier that you are experiencing.
No, because
And I hear wonderful things, and now you are revitalizing a Jewish community that sort of was hesitant to even mention that they were Jewish, which is terrific. But I'm saying there are other factors that may be involved.
well, our ultimate goal isn't to bring everybody to Israel. So that aspect of the work that we do isn't a barrier, because that's not, it's not a barrier in terms of developing these communities, being that the ultimate goal is not to bring them all to Israel.
I do know, I don't know if it's now, but in past years, that Israelis who had Russian background went to Russia to encourage Judaism within the country, rather than first they thought they would bring them to Israel, but they found it was better to train them to be Jewish in Russia. I don't know if that program is still on. Because I did know there was a program. I don't know. You know what I mean? So that they'd be trained from Israel.
Interesting.
Yeah?
Yes?
These people's trip here was sponsored by JDC, the visiting.
Yeah, we had our board meetings actually the last couple of days, so they both were participating in board meetings, presenting, you know, similar to what you heard today, as well as having meetings with our staff in terms of, you know, local support.
How long will they be in the States?
How long?
Tonight I have flight to.
How long were you here for?
Just 1 week.
1 week.
1 week. 1 week.
And I think a couple more days for Dima.
How do you find children or people who have no knowledge of their Jewish identity? You must have some means to sort of go digging and find out.
We have some instruments to find them because It's not easy, guys, to find everyone and find people who want to know something about their roots. So we have a lot of instruments how we build it. So teenagers who came with a family, they know that they're Jewish. We just like make their identity stronger. That they said I'm Jewish on the street, like on the school. And how we founded these people, just a la magas like me. I said to my not Jewish friends that I'm Jewish, and I'm every Friday I have Shabbat celebration, and they ask what does it mean? It's mean blah 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 and so on, prayers and some good food and everything. They just to say to different people that I have a la magas, she's a Jewish and she has a Jewish community there, and she has a great food. She hears a nice song and blah 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 and. Oh my God, my grandmother was a Jewish. That's how we bring these people from one to one to one to one. It's one instrument, but sometimes we have like a big event in our city and we can share like on the TV or on the radio that we have the big celebration of Sukkot. And everyone who knows what it means Jewish, sometimes somebody it's a reminder that I'm a Jewish or my parents was a Jewish, so maybe something like that. It's not easy, but still I remember one story. It's interesting story because last 5 years I worked with the youth generation, and one boy who came to our Shabbat celebration 3 years ago, every Friday he was with us, and I asked him, do you have the Jewish roots? And he, no, I'm not Jewish. Okay, so why are you here? Because my grandmother was Jewish. Oh my God, stop. And your grandmother, and who else in your family? My mother, but she is like my mother. So, oh my God, I understood that he don't understand nothing about Allah and about Judaism. He said that he has grandmother Jewish, but he is no. Oh my God, are you stupid? I asked him, okay, so congratulations, you're Jewish! It was so amazing. Guys, 3 years he came to our Shabbat celebration and he didn't know, but he looks like Jewish. That's why I didn't ask him. That's why the first time I asked him, do you have a Jewish room? Okay, no, my grandmother. What?
And then on top of that, we work with local staff who know the community so well and for generations that a lot of our local staff will know somebody that's Jewish, even if they don't know that they're Jewish, just through that. And that also enables us to be very effective in helping the community because every single Jew is accounted for by this knowledgeable local staff that is part of the community themselves. So they have that intense, intimate link to the community. So that's another way. Yes?
Just on a small personal level, do you have siblings? Do you have brothers or sisters who've connected with what you've connected with?
Братья и сестры, у тебя есть?
Да, это я поняла. Okay, so I have my brother. I have just my brother, and he is not involved in the Jewish community. No. He's not.
You do, but he's not.
He know everything, like, but he still like a Soviet man, Soviet. So he don't want to have any connection with the religion, because the Jewish people we don't separate from religion. Like, you cannot be Jewish without religion. Like, we still feel that if you're Jewish, you need to celebrate the holidays. You need to keep something. You need to do something. It means that. It's not separate, like religion and national. So my brother, he feels that he is not. No, he don't want.
Yes?
What's the relationship between the JDC Cultural Jewish Organization and the Lubavitch
Chabad
community?
There are partners.
Yes.
on the ground in a lot of the places that we work. But just as, other local organizations are our partners, it's really just for, leveraging resources and, community engagement, but nothing beyond it. But there are great partners on the ground as well.
Yes.
What about the official non-Jewish community, either the Russian Orthodox or the Catholic Church in Ukraine?
No, they have not connection. But what about Lubavitch, about Chabad Lubavitch? Every Rosh Hashanah and every Yom Kippur and big holidays, I take my youth clubs and we are going to synagogue. It's not a problem. It's not a problem for us to go there, to kosher sukkah and everything. Like, no, nobody closed like a door for us. No, it's not a problem. We have really good relationship. But it's what I said, that we cannot, they don't want to work with us. It's like to come to us and to make for us the Shabbat celebration, or because they need to know that all these people Jewish as halacha. That's what I mean.
Yes?
Is it easy to get kosher food and kosher products?
Is it easy?
Yeah.
No.
How do you do it?
So it's a really difficult way for me, but I decided. So I don't eat the not kosher food. I have in my home, I have milk, like a milk kitchen. So I just eat what I can eat. What I can eat, vegetables. Thank you. And fish. Fish and vegetables. That's it. But sometimes when I have time to go to synagogue and buy some kosher food, okay, but it's not like often for me. Sometimes in the Dnipropetrovsk, in the Kiev, in the New York City, you have a lot of kosher restaurants, so I had a really good meal here.
And you're going back?
Yeah, I want to do something to Ukraine. No, we had kosher food and the synagogue. Sometimes in my city in Kharkov, we have one supermarket with kosher meat. Just one. It just means that I can buy chicken, nothing else. Just the chicken, and she has like a stamp of kosher, and I can buy. That's it. What we have. And kosher wine also we have, and in the supermarkets and kosher. I don't know, hummus sometimes. No, it's not, like chicken. This is. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And just to wrap everything up, we're very grateful for the opportunity to come here today and tell you a little bit about the work that we do. Like I said, we're a 100-year-old organization. We work in over 70 countries around the world and across all different sectors of community development, education, healthcare, and disaster relief as well. So when things happen in Japan and Nepal and Haiti, we're often the first responders, along with, the government and the Red Cross, and they look to us for our expertise, especially in setting up refugee camps and things like that, because of what we've done historically. So you should be proud to know that when those things happen, there's an organization out there through your support of, the Jewish Federation systems and just through your active participation in the Jewish community, that there's an organization out there on behalf of the American Jewish community out there, side by side, working to help non-Jews as well as Jews. So again, thank you for having us. Yes?
I just wanted to say that you're doing God's work. The fact of the matter is that there are so many people throughout the old Soviet Union who by chance don't know that they're Jewish or don't want to know that they're Jewish. And you are reawakening that Pintali is. So kol hakavod.
Thank you. So if you have any questions or follow-up, we'll be here for a few minutes, and please contact Rabbi Goldberg as well if you have any questions. And thank you again to Alla and Dima for sharing their stories.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The disc will be on sale.
Please put your waste in the waste basket, the bin over here, please.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you.